Previously on Samurai Jack. The samurai begins to contemplate as to whether or not having Ashi in his life would be a good idea. On the one hand, he knows his feelings are genuine, but on the other, he knows what happens to everyone he holds dear. He decides to press on without her, but stops as he discovers the desolated time portal of the Guardian. As he reminisces, a confused Ashi finds the samurai and reaffirms their relationship, stating that they will take Aku down together. That time has come sooner than expected, as Aku pays the samurai a visit, misled by his minion to believe his enemy is defenseless. When he learns otherwise, Aku begins to leave, only to make a startling discovery. Ashi reeks of Aku, as her mother willfully consumed a goblet's worth of the demon's essence years ago. This allows the Shogun of Sorrow to not only control her, but also transform her. Jack cannot bring himself to kill Ashi in spite of her pleas to him, and surrenders to Aku. We begin on an ominous note, as everyone Jack has ever saved in the previous seasons watches a television screen in awe. Aku is broadcasting a message around the world after years of silence. He plays what longtime fans know as the introduction of the earlier seasons, telling the story of how Samurai Jack came to be. He then reveals in pure cathartic delight that he has captured Samurai Jack and his sword, and plans to kill him on air in order to silence anyone who dares oppose him. But there is a small problem. He does not know how to do the deed. As he morphs his arms into a variety of weapons, he confesses that he never thought this far ahead. As Aku contemplates what to do, Jack tries to reach Ashi beyond his foe's influence, but to no avail. As Aku struggles to find the perfect way to kill his longtime enemy, he looks down to his daughter. He slowly grins as a dreadful idea comes to him. He commands his daughter to kill the samurai. Jack struggles to communicate to Ashi, but her mind is far too clouded by Aku's influence, as she moves to stab him right through the skull. She's interrupted, however, as the top of Aku's tower is blown off. Aku immediately peers outside to see an odd sight. The Ravers, Sir Rothschild, and the Triceratops have begun an aerial assault on the tower, while the archers riding the Woolies, the Monkey Man and his tribe, as well as the 300 Spartans, take on Aku from the ground. Using the battle as a distraction, Jack tries to reclaim his sword, only for Ashi to block his way, still under Aku's control. She ruthlessly attacks him, just as Aku brutally retaliates against the resistance. He crushes a portion of the ground forces, and uses his magic to convert them into his slaves, forcing the genuine archers and woolies to fight their corrupted brothers. Some of Aku's minions even launch themselves into the air to eliminate the Ravers, Canines, and Triceratops. Things look bleak until an odd sound echoes over the mountains. The Scotsman's ghost, blowing on his old bagpipes, has come with his army of daughters, flying over the horizon with his Celtic magic. While his daughters charge into the tower on the backs of battle deer, the Scotsman meets up with a startled Jack. He introduces his old friend to his daughters, hoping to have him choose one as a potential bride. But Jack declines. The Scotsman flares up, only to be surprised when Jack explains that he has met someone already. And that someone is the terrifying mass of tentacles the Scotsman's daughters are currently fighting. The Scotsman bluntly replies that she is clearly not the samurai's type. Suddenly, a giant robot storms into the tower. It is the Robo-Samurai, a robot adorned in stone, piloted by the robots of Andromeda. At first, Aku mocks them for how ridiculous this battle is becoming, until the Robo-Samurai lays a brutal smackdown on Aku. Meanwhile, Ashi attacks Jack once more, swallowing him in a mass of darkness. While Jack struggles, Aku has had enough of the resistance and takes to the sky along with his slaves. He turns into a threatening cloud, which rains spikes upon everyone below. The robots of Andromeda and their Robo-Samurai are eliminated, along with Rothschild and some of the Triceratops. The Spartans and the Scotsman's daughters raise their shields, while the Scotsman blows on his bagpipes, releasing a powerful sound wave to deflect the spikes. Elsewhere, Jack tries one last time to reach Ashi underneath the darkness, proclaiming his love for her, before the darkness expels him and takes its humanoid form. But, rather than kill Jack, it slowly succumbs to Ashi's will. Aku comes down to check on her, but is angered to see her retaliate against him. He tries to kill them both, but Ashi uses her newfound powers to defend herself. It is then that Jack realizes that Ashi now has Aku's powers. All of them. Ashi, realizing what this means, quickly grabs Jack's sword, while Aku tries to crush them. Only to fail, as Jack and Ashi enter a time portal his daughter made. As Jack and Ashi go back in time, we watch a full recreation of the first time Jack and Aku ever fought. Aku creates the first time portal, much like Ashi created the last, and sends Jack into the future, proclaiming he will have the last laugh. He is then shocked to see the very same samurai return almost instantaneously, allowing Jack to attack him quickly. Aku tries to defend himself, and even attempts to escape, but over 50 years in the future has made Jack all the more experienced in battle. He quickly finishes Aku off, sealing his evil into the magic sword, which he then stabs into the tower, proclaiming that Aku's rule is no more. Jack and Ashi quickly escape as the tower explodes from Aku's defeat. Ashi falls to the ground as Jack holds her in his arms. She says that she felt Aku leave her. Jack responds by saying that the demon will never hurt anyone, ever again. The next few minutes consist of humanity returning to how it is meant to be, as all the warriors, tribes, and kingdoms return to rebuild their land. Jack, meanwhile, returns to his father's palace and begins to make preparations for a wedding. He is adorned in black robes while Ashi wears white. The wedding appears to begin without a hitch, until Ashi falls to the ground. As Jack holds her in his arms, Ashi reveals a heartbreaking discovery. Now that Aku has been defeated in the past, the daughters of Aku were never born in the future. Jack's eyes well with tears as Ashi finally fades into nothingness. Jack's victory has come with a heavy price. Later, Jack rides on horseback through a foggy forest. He has obviously fallen into a state of depression as he silently goes to sit under a tree. As he sits with his eyes shut, a lone ladybug lands on his hand. Jack examines the bug, which looks back at the samurai. Jack softly smiles, releasing the ladybug into the breeze as the sun shines through a dwindling overcast, revealing a familiar field of cherry blossom trees. Jack may have lost Ashi, but she would not have wanted him to wallow in sorrow. Not when he has finally made it home and saved the future. This may be a bittersweet victory, but it is a victory nonetheless. And with that, Samurai Jack comes to a close. Wow. Just wow. This season has been one glorious ride. We finally have an ending to one of the most beloved shows from Cartoon Network's past. Whether it is a good ending or not is left to the audience in question. As for me, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode and its bittersweet conclusion. As I said, Jack may have lost Ashi, but he managed to save the future and defeat a coup. Now the world can have a new future, one that is safe from the evil of a coup. And to me, there's no better victory that Jack can have. What else can I say other than thank you, Genndy Tartakovsky, and everyone else who has been involved with Samurai Jack from day one. Thank you for finally ending the epic tale that you all started years ago. Thank you very much. In the meantime, though, never stop rambling. This has been Rambles and Mumbles of a Nerd, and as always, I thank you all for watching this episode.
Hey guys, this is RaMoaN, aka Rambles and Mumbles of a Nerd, and I want to thank you again for watching this episode. If you like my content, why not leave a like, maybe a comment, or heck, maybe even subscribe for more nerdy content. And if you want to see more of my work, feel free to go to the Rambles and Mumbles of a Nerd Tumblr page. There you'll find all sorts of rambles and mumbles that I've made prior to the YouTube page, and some of these posts may even get their own YouTube video someday. Normally I write the Tumblr posts first, so if you want to see content before my YouTube channel gets it, feel free to follow my Tumblr page. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you again for watching this episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.